back to Allergylicious. This is our food blog video series, and so let me reintroduce myself if you haven't been to the last one. My name is Nicole, and I am the creator of Allergylicious, which is a food blog. Everything on there is vegan and allergy friendly, and we have tons of gluten-free options too. So our last video was these amazing SunButter cups, and if you haven't seen those yet, then you really need to check that out. But we're going to work on the same theme today, chocolate and SunButter, because, I mean, really, most everybody loves chocolate, right? Today we are going to make these amazing brownies. These, again, are vegan, gluten-free, and nut-free, and these are so easy to make. So we are going to go ahead and get started with this right now. Okay, first we're going to start on the dry ingredients. And what I love about this recipe is it's super easy and you're going to have these ingredients at home. First we're going to start with a gluten-free flour. If you use regular flour and you don't have a gluten allergy, then that's perfectly fine because we're using a 1-to-1, which basically means 1 cup of flour all-purpose would be equal to 1 cup of our gluten-free flour. And so for our recipe, I am using Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1. If you have a nut allergy, then you have to take that in consideration. We have a nut allergy, but we've found that it's been safe for our family, but use whatever you have and are comfortable with. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my mixer right here. That's my flour. I also use vegan cane sugar. I love the consistency that it brings to this. Cocoa powder. Gotta have the cocoa to make it chocolatey. Okay. And then the last set of dry ingredients we have going on is we have salt and we have our baking powder. Now you can use whatever salt you like as well. I choose the pink Himalayan sea salt. I just think I love the pink color to it. Might be the little girl side of me coming out, but I just love that extra bit of flavor that it adds. That's it for dry ingredients. You're going to mix this up real quick, and what I'm going to do though is, because I don't want to create a flour bath going on in here, I'm just going to pre-mix this just enough. That way I'm going to save you all from watching me get cocoa powder and flour all over me, just like I just did. Awesome. Now that we have our dry ingredients in there, we are going to go ahead and add the wet ingredients. So for this, we have water. We also have oil. And so typically you could use a vegetable oil, which is what I'm using for this recipe. You could also use coconut oil, but because I know I have some readers who also have a coconut allergy, I stick with vegetable oil for this recipe. Pour that in there, and last but not least, vanilla extract. Now one little tip, because we did this with the flour, is I'm just going to go ahead and get a little bit of this dry mixed in here, because otherwise it will splash all over. If you have a splash guard, awesome, you can totally use that. And while you're waiting, you can grab your cup of coffee, take a sip, and that's it. I mean, easy peasy, like we like to say in our house. And look at that. Oh my goodness. Rich, chocolatey. You can totally lick the spoon with this one, or if you want to lick this attachment, I mean, put it aside, save it for later, put the rest in the oven. I mean, it's all good, right? Okay, so now that we have our brownie batter done, all we're going to do is put it in our pan. Now here's what I like to do. A little tip that has made life a little bit easier for us is when you're making these brownies, use a metal pan if possible. I've made them before in a glass pan and they just don't cook as well, and so I like to use the metal pan. Also, I lightly oil my pan, and instead of just letting it drip all over, I take a paper towel and I just kind of wipe and spread it everywhere. And instead of flouring, if I'm using something chocolatey, if I'm making brownies or a chocolate cake, I like to add a little bit of cocoa powder to my pan. So typically where you would flour it and just distribute it throughout, I like to keep the chocolate theme going on, and so I've already pre-done mine, and you can see all that cocoa powder right there. Again, this is super easy, so all we're going to go ahead and do then is get this brownie mix. already done. And drop that right into our pan. And guys, we've got one other step. You can make this exactly as is. You will get amazing brownies. Or you can take this one step further, and let me show you what I like to do. Here's my little trick. So we have a nut allergy, and therefore I use SunButter for everything. It's kind of our go-to. But if you can have peanuts, you can use a creamy peanut butter. If you like almond butter, I mean, that would be amazing in this recipe as well. But I like to take my creamy SunButter and just do a dollop of this on top of my brownies. And the key to this is I know what my squares are going to be. I'm going to get about 12 squares in here. And so I want to make 12 even drops of SunButter. And then I'll show you what we do with them later. Depending on how much you want in here, you can go ahead and add as much or as little. I don't go totally crazy with it. I just want a little bit to add some extra flavor. So now that we have all of our little SunButter dots, what I'm going to do is take this little stick and I am going to turn this into something even prettier. I'm just going to simply drag it through, and while I'm doing that, you can see it's kind of creating this heart pattern. Can you see that? I mean, swirls of SunButter showing how much we love the person that we're going to be serving this to. Aren't these adorable? If you want to, though, you can continue swirling and make a fun little pattern throughout it that's not hearts. But I like to do this because as we cut it, each square will get a heart. All we do now is put this in the oven, and we're going to bake it between 20 and 25 minutes at about 350 degrees. Okay, our brownies are out of the oven, and the house smells amazing. And these are just in time because my son Xander's home from school.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, babe. So I asked Xander to do a little help with me on this video because he has a super cool magic trick and he wanted to show you guys. You ready? Tell him what you're going to do.
Okay, so I'm going to make these brownies get cut up instantly and put on the tray in just 3 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1.
Awesome job, Xander. So there you go, guys. These amazing brownies. And look, all the fun little heart shapes are right on each and every one of them. You want to be the first bite?
Yeah.
All right.
They're really good.
They're good. So we get a thumbs up from Xander. You learn a new magic trick. You learn how to make these vegan, gluten-free, nut-free brownies. And so be sure to go to the blog itself so you can find the link and print off the recipe. You can find all the rest of the recipes there. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, here's to more sweet treats and vegan eats.